A world transformed, understanding the global impacts of Trump's presidency. Hello, friends. Welcome to Global Highlights. We're here to bring you a deeper understanding of the events shaping our world. We're not just interested in headlines, we're interested in the human impact of those headlines. Over the next few segments, we're going to take a hard look at the global ramifications of Donald Trump's presidency. It was a period of significant change, both domestically and internationally, and the aftershocks are still being felt. We're going to examine the facts, analyze the consequences, and explore the potential ripple effects for years to come. Join us as we shine a light on this pivotal moment in history. Fractured foundations, Trump's impact on global alliances. From the outset, Trump's America First policies sent shockwaves through the international community. His approach to foreign policy, often described as unpredictable and transactional, led to a reassessment of long-standing alliances. The transatlantic relationship, a cornerstone of global stability since World War II, was particularly strained. Trump's criticism of NATO, questioning its relevance and demanding increased financial contributions from member states, sowed seeds of doubt and discord. His decision to withdraw the United States from the Paris Climate Accord, a landmark agreement aimed at combating global warming, further alienated allies and raised concerns about America's commitment to multilateralism. The consequences of these actions continue to reverberate. The trust deficit created during Trump's presidency will take time and consistent effort to rebuild. The international community is left grappling with the question, can America be relied upon as a reliable partner in a world facing increasingly complex challenges? Trade wars and economic tremors deciphering the US-China standoff. One of the most consequential aspects of Trump's presidency was his aggressive trade policy towards China, imposing tariffs on billions of dollars worth of Chinese goods. Trump argued that these measures were necessary to protect American jobs and intellectual property. However, the trade war had far-reaching consequences, impacting not only the US and Chinese economies, but also sending shockwaves through the global trading system. The tit-for-tat tariffs resulted in increased costs for businesses and consumers on both sides of the Pacific. Global supply chains, intricately intertwined with Chinese manufacturing, were disrupted, leading to uncertainty and economic anxiety. The trade war also fueled geopolitical tensions, casting a shadow over the already complex US-China relationship. While the long-term impacts of the trade war are still unfolding, it is clear that Trump's approach has led to a reordering of global trade dynamics. The question remains whether this reordering will lead to a more equitable and sustainable trading system, or further fragmentation and instability. Chapter 3. Shifting Sands in the Middle East, the fallout of Trump's policies. Trump's Middle East policy was marked by a series of consequential decisions that upended decades of US foreign policy orthodoxy. His decision to withdraw the United States from the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, commonly known as the Iran nuclear deal, was met with a mixture of praise and condemnation. Supporters argued that the deal was flawed and empowered Iran, while critics warned that the withdrawal would isolate the US and increase the risk of conflict. The Trump administration's decision to move the US embassy in Israel to Jerusalem, recognizing it as the capital, further inflamed tensions in the region. These actions, coupled with Trump's unwavering support for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, have had a profound impact on the Middle East's geopolitical landscape. The region remains volatile, and the long-term consequences of Trump's policies are still being debated. Chapter 4. A Wall of Division, Global Reactions to Trump's Immigration Crackdown. Trump's hardline stance on immigration was a defining feature of his presidency, both domestically and internationally. His administration enacted a series of policies aimed at curtailing both legal and illegal immigration, including the construction of a wall along the US-Mexico border, a travel ban on citizens from several Muslim-majority countries, and the separation of families at the border. These policies sparked outrage and condemnation both within the US and around the world. Human rights groups accused the Trump administration of violating international law and demonizing immigrants and refugees. The images of children being separated from their parents at the border drew international condemnation and sparked protests across the globe. Trump's immigration policies have had a chilling effect on global migration patterns and have fueled the debate over the treatment of refugees and asylum seekers. His actions have also raised concerns about the erosion of human rights and the rise of xenophobia and nationalism. Chapter 5. America Divided, the Global Mirror of Internal Polarization. The deep political polarization and social division that characterized the Trump era resonated far beyond America's borders. The world watched with a mix of fascination and apprehension as the United States, long considered a beacon of democracy and stability, grappled with its own internal demons. Trump's rhetoric and policies often exacerbated existing divisions, fueling racial tensions, cultural clashes, and political gridlock. The storming of the US Capitol on January 6, 2021, by a mob of Trump supporters seeking to overturn the results of the presidential election sent shockwaves around the world, raising serious concerns about the fragility of American democracy. The events of recent years have served as a cautionary tale for democracies around the world, highlighting the dangers of political polarization, misinformation, and the erosion of democratic norms. The world is now watching closely to see if the United States can heal its internal divisions and restore its standing as a global leader. Outro: A World Watching, the legacy of the Trump era. The Trump presidency was a period of profound change and upheaval, leaving an indelible mark on the global stage. From strained alliances to trade wars, from shifting Middle East dynamics to a global immigration crisis, the reverberations of his policies continue to be felt. The world is now grappling with the long-term consequences of this turbulent period, seeking to understand the lessons learned and chart a course forward. The future remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: the world is watching closely to see how America navigates this new era and what role it will play in shaping the 21st century.